And I'm just repeating the thing. The protagonist, the main character in a story, you may call it a hero. Antagonist, the characters that acts against the motive of the hero. Okay, that's called antagonist. Is it clear for all of you? Then go for the most interesting one. And then there will be an assignment for all of you. Give me highest concentration from your side. Okay, so Okay, just we are going to write climax. Okay, what's that? Climax.
It's the part where everyone waits for.
No, it's not the part that everyone waits for the thing. The climax meaning that where you'll be finding like the highest level of interest. Write it down. Okay, since I'm in the live, do whatever you want, okay? Okay, climax. The highest level of intense moment. Climax is inside the literary terms, all the literary terms that we are learning right now. The highest level of intense moment in a narrative or plot, okay? The word came from, the climax, the word came from Greek word Klimax, climax, which means ladder. Okay? You all know what is the meaning of ladder, right?
Yes.
You all know the meaning of a ladder. It's like a ladder, 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 ladder. Okay? So reading a story is like climbing a ladder. Clear? You get me? So it's like reading a story is like what? Climbing a ladder, okay? Someone is just trying to climb the thing, okay? That is called climax. Done? Now the climax has a different position, meaning that, can I erase the thing? Okay. Arafat and Redwan and Uchchash, be fast. For me, you can see, okay. So climax is the highest level of intense moment in a narrative or a plot, okay? Now, I'll be telling a story, then you have to find out something for me, okay? Done. Okay, now listen to the story for me. And then we'll be going for the example. Okay, a father and a son, they were on the train. Do you understand me what I say? Okay. Uchchas, do you understand me what I say? Okay, they were on the train and they were having a beautiful journey. Clear? And the weather was so good and the son was really enjoying. And suddenly he looked outside and then he said that, Father, the trees are green. And father smiled and he said, yes, the trees are green. Clear? And then again, he just looked at the sky and he said, Father, the sky looks blue. And the father said, yes, the sky looks blue. Then a guy from the backside, okay, don't look over there, please. Then a guy from backside, a lady from the backside, okay, she said that take your son to a psychiatrist. I think he has some crazy mind because someone is asking you like what? The sky is blue, the trees are green, right? It looks weird, right? When someone goes in. If you're on a train and if you find that someone asking, oh, the trees are green, and then he says that if the sky is blue, how will you feel then?
The person's.
Come on, he has some. What do you say? Iskridila hai, yeah? Okay? So, and the father just smiled at the lady and what did he say? He said that my son was blind for his lifetime. And he just had an operation a few days back and he's witnessing the sky, the beautiful sky for the first time. and he's witnessing the beautiful trees for the first time in his life. And then he ended up the story saying that every life has a story to tell. You get me? What's the moral? Every life has a, okay? So you have a different story, I have a different story, okay? So don't judge anyone without knowing the guy, exactly, okay? So if you find it out, like, let me give you an example. If you find it out that Uchchash is purchasing a cigarette from a tea shop and he said, Uchchash, le halwa, ab ye bhi karte ho tum, cricket bhi khelte ho? And then you find it out, Uchchash is not taking it for himself, rather he was just helping his friend buying a cigarette, right? So should you judge someone initially before he performs the task? No. So that's the thing actually. You shouldn't be judging someone like at the very first hand. You should know the thing, why he is doing it. Is it he really doing it for himself? Then you are going to judge it, okay? So remember the story. First, there were father and the son, and then there was a lady, okay? And they were having a journey. Clear? Okay. Now come for it. Can I erase the board?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you need, I think all of you need huge concentration. It's a bit scientific, okay? Just draw like me, okay? Just draw it like me. That is what we call exposition, okay? Rising action. Then here is the climax. Then falling action. Then here is the resolution. Quick, fast. Exposition meaning the beginning. That's the ending. And all the three things that you see, we call it the middle part. Clear? Just write it down, then I'll be explaining all those things to you. Okay. So we are going to begin with the exposition. Then you have rising action. Then you have climax. Then you have falling action. Then you have resolution. Okay? Write it down a bit quick. So now, I hope that all of you be quick, please. So let me start with that. Done? Falling action. F-A-L-L-I-N-G. So the question will be coming in that way. Like you'll be asking, like I'll be giving you a story, then you have to find out what is the exposition, what is the rising action, and what is the climax, and what is the falling action, and what is the resolution. Clear? So the question will be something like that. Okay, I'll be giving you, like I have already told you a story, right? And then we'll be just judging that, where is the climax that took place in the story, and what is the resolution. Okay, now, are you done, everyone? Redwan, are you done? Please, quick. Okay, now come for this one, first time. Exposition. Now, if I ask you the story that you have heard, what is the exposition? How did the story start? Okay, so I should say that the father and the son, right? Yes. The father and the son were having a journey. Were having a what? A train journey, right? Okay. Rising action is what? When the son start asking the questions, right? The sky is blue, right? Or what? The trees are green? Some nonsense questions, right? So the rising action. Rising action is meaning the tension is rising. Right? The heartbeat, have you seen that in the movie? It says that, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen in the movie?
Yes,
Heartbeat goes, bursts, it starts to burst. That's called rising action. So it's the intense moment. Okay? Clear? And now what is that intense moment take place? Now, it actually happens in the heart of the audience. Okay, the audience is thinking, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Clear? So what is the rising action right now? When the sun, this is how we have to show. When the sun started asking question, come on. Who are you? Okay, climax. Now, what is the climax right now?
When the lady said that.
The climax is when the son is insulted, right?
Yeah.
Son was insulted by whom?
That lady at the back.
By the lady. Okay? Okay, what is the falling action right now? Now you are thinking what's going to happen? The father is going to punch the lady?
No.
Right.
He punched her with his words.
Okay? Now you are thinking what? If someone is going to insult you, what you are going to do? And Ridan is going to say, right? Are you going to do that? You're going to show the muscle? No. And then the fall, so the intense moment starts. So now what will happen? Now you're thinking, will the father reply back with something like in a brutal way? Or he is going to reply back in a sophisticated manner, in a good manner? Okay, clear? So we find it out that he replied with in a beautiful manner, right? And the falling action is what? Falling when you came to know that he was a blind, right? The action. He was a blind, okay? And then what is the resolution? The moral of the story. Every life has a story to tell. Clear? Has a story to tell. Done. So when you write a story, anything that you write, there must be what? There must be what? A climax. So that's why, I want to listen to your story, or I will be reading your story. Clear? Clear? And now, all the movies that you see, okay, you'll be finding it out what? The hero is trying to solve a riddle. He's trying to do something, but he cannot do it. Every time there is a climax. Every time there is a climax. Okay? And you can also call it like the suspense that the director or the producer used to create in the movie. The suspense. Always there is a suspense. What's going to be next? What's going to be next? Okay? And you'll be finding what? The advertisement that comes in a moment when there is a suspense, right? Initially, you'll be finding what? There is an advertisement. Suspense is there, right? And then you'll be finding there is an advertisement. Clear? Is it right for all of you? Let's get back to, where's the gesture? Now, next point. Okay. I'll be giving you the lecture sheet. So if you just write it down, then it will be helping you to remember. So what will be the question that will be coming in the exam? Ridwan, can you just tell me what will be the question type in the exam? I said. What will be the question? What will be the question type in the exam? Question type কেমন হবে exam এ? I already told you that how will be the question type. আমি তো আপনাকে বললাম না question type টা কেমন হবে। আবার একটু বলেন, কে বলতে পারবেন বলেন? Anyone? হ্যাঁ, say.
So, sir, আমাদের একটা story দিয়ে দিবে, ওখানে
Okay.
আমাদের exposition, rising.
No, you have to find out what is the climax, the whole thing, okay? These are the whole thing of a plot, okay? You get me? You get me? Sadia, Tithi? Saima, is it okay? Okay. Can we use the board now? Okay, now it comes for another significant thing. Write it down. What is the number?
It's 4. 3 is done.
No, not 3. Not 4. Come on, you should have started from the, okay. 4, okay. Okay, anyway, anecdote. Can you just write it down? Anecdote. A story related to an event or particular moment. Okay? It can be a short biographical sketch. Okay? So anecdote meaning story of myself. If I want to say something like that. Story of myself. Clear? when you are just retelling a story that happened in your life, that is what we call anecdote. If I say that that's the anecdote of my life, meaning what? That's the story of my life. Okay? So anecdote is, it means that a story, when you are just telling a story of yourself. Okay? If I tell that when I was a young guy, I'm telling of myself, right? Meaning that I'm just telling a story of mine, my own story. That's called an anecdote. It doesn't necessarily mean that all the time you're going to have the story of yourself. Rather, it can be of an event or a particular moment. Clear? That is called anecdote. Quick. Okay. If I want to start with the number 5, okay. In exam, like I'll be asking you just to write down an anecdote. Like 200 or 300 words, I'll be asking you to write down an anecdote. Do you understand what is anecdote? I'll be telling you in Bangla very soon. So now come for this one. This is much more interesting. Allegory. Okay? What? You couldn't write it down. Finish it out, huh? Okay. Anyone, just help. Anyone, just help. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, yes. হ্যাঁ শাহাদাত ক্লাস তো হচ্ছেই। হ্যাঁ 1205 সকাল 9টায়। হ্যাঁ সব হ্যাঁ আসেন।
So, sir, if you like give us a question like write the
Wait.
anecdote.
Just let us finish. Okay, I'll be giving you time. I'll be giving you the sheet, please. A story within a story. The surface story has a story underneath it. Okay, I'll be telling you a story right now. A story within a story. The surface story has a story underneath it. Now, okay, if you can see that. Okay, now if I just give you an example, what's that? Look, it can be open, right? So it's a box, right? But inside the box, okay, inside the box there is another box, right? Okay, so allegory is something like that. You always just look at the part of the what? The surface, okay? The surface means what? You can just look at it. What is that? This is the surface, right? Underneath it, what? The tiles are there, okay? You can find it out that the underground is there. Even in the ocean, the surface is what? Made of what? Water, right? If you go underneath it, what will you find? All the things, the living things. There are so many living things out there. But let me tell you a story. Have you heard the name of this guy? Aesop? No. You have heard of him. Trust me, in Bangla we call it Aesop. Aesopের গল্প পড়েছেন আপনারা? পড়েছেন? Okay. This guy is to write down all the allegorical stories. Let me tell you a story so that you can understand it right now. The story that takes place between, you can say it like, have you heard the story of like the grapes are sour? Like the fox, he wants to what? Have some grapes, okay? And then he was jumping in front of a grape tree and trying to pick up the what? Grapes. But literally he failed to pick up the grapes. And then he said what? Grapes are what? Who eats the grapes? Grapes are sour. আঙুর ফল টক হয়, কে আঙুর খায়? Right? Or even you can go for something like that. একদিন হচ্ছে গিয়ে বক দেখতে তো খুবই সুন্দর, right? The bok, you know, the hair on it. You can find it out. The spelling is Heron. বক হচ্ছে দেখতে খুবই সুন্দর. বক হচ্ছে দেখতে খুবই সুন্দর. বক হচ্ছে দেখতে খুবই সুন্দর. সাথে কি সুন্দর? এখন শিয়াল একদিন বকের কাছে গেল, গিয়ে বলল যে বক তোমাকে তো আল্লাহ অনেক সুন্দর করে বানাইছে। হ্যাঁ, you look so pretty. Oh, you look so cool. বাট তোমার মাথাতে একটু বুদ্ধি নাই। হ্যাঁ, তোমার মাথা কি নাই? একটু বুদ্ধি নাই। তো বললো যে ঠিক আছে। এখন বক একদিন, শিয়াল কি করলো? বককে একদিন দাওয়াত দিল। বললো যে আমার বাসায় আসো, তোমাকে আমি খুব মিষ্টি করে পায়েস রান্না করে খাওয়াবো। তো বক বললে ঠিক আছে, শিয়াল পণ্ডিত যেহেতু দাওয়াত দিয়েছে, লেটস গো। এবং সে হচ্ছে এখানে পায়েস খেতে যায়, যাওয়ার পরে দেখে বককে এমন একটা পাত্রে খেতে দিয়েছে যেটাতে হচ্ছে বকের পক্ষে সম্ভবই না খাওয়া। যেমন ধরেন বক হচ্ছে কোথা থেকে খায়, একটা কলস জাতীয় যদি কিছু হয় যেটাতে হচ্ছে কি থাকে, ডেপথ আছে, সে ওইখান থেকে খেতে পারবে, রাইট? দ্যাটস দ্য লিটারাল থিং। কিন্তু তাকে দিয়েছে কি একটা গোলাকার পাত্রে খেতে দিয়েছে যেখান থেকে হচ্ছে কি, যেটার কোনো ডেন্সিটি নেই। এবং সে শেষ পর্যন্ত কি হয়, বক হচ্ছে ওই পায়েসটার খেতেই পারে না। বক হচ্ছে খুব কষ্ট পায় যে শিয়াল হচ্ছে আমাকে দাওয়াত দিয়ে অপমান করে সে হচ্ছে আমাকে পায়েসটাই খেতে দিল না। তো বক একদিন চিন্তা করলো কি, ঠিক আছে এবার আমিও শিয়াল পণ্ডিতকে একদিন দাওয়াত দিই। সে কি করলো, শিয়াল পণ্ডিতকে একদিন দাওয়াত দিল, বলছে শিয়াল ভাই, আল্লাহ তো তোমাকে অনেক বুদ্ধি দিচ্ছে, হ্যাঁ তুমি দেখতে যেমনই হও মাশাল্লাহ, বুদ্ধির তো অভাব নাই। তো চলো তোমারও একদিন হচ্ছে আমার বাসায় দাওয়াত রইলো। সে এবার শিয়ালও আসছে খাওয়ার জন্য, পায়েস খাওয়ার জন্য। বলো দেখো আমি তোমার জন্য সব মশলা দিয়ে খুব মজা করে পায়েস রান্না করেছি। তখন শিয়াল যখন হচ্ছে পায়েস খেতে আসলো, মেহমানদারি নিচ্ছে সে, তখন তাকে কি করলো, একটা কলসের ভেতরে পায়েস খেতে দিল। এবার দেখে যে শিয়াল মাথা ঢুকাচ্ছে কিন্তু পায়েস তো আর খেতে পারে না। কারণ কি, ওইটা তো শিয়ালের পাত্রই না খাওয়ার জন্য। তখন বক বলতেছে আল্লাহ তোমার কত বুদ্ধি দিছে, কিন্তু তুমি মজার পায়েসটা খাইতে পারতেছো না, দেখো আমি খেয়ে দেখাই। তখন বক আবার খেয়ে দেখাচ্ছে যে কেমন লাগে। তো গল্পটা শেষ হয় এইখানেই। এইটাকে আমরা কি বলি, দ্যাট কল সুইট রিভেঞ্জ। এটাকে কি বলা হয়, মধুর প্রতিশোধ। এখন এই গল্পটার সারফেস স্টোরি কি, আপনার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে কি বক আছে আর শিয়াল আছে, কিন্তু সারফেস স্টোরি বললাম কি বক আর শিয়াল না। এই আন্ডারনিথ, এই সারফেসের নিচে হচ্ছে গিয়ে খুব মোরাল আছে। সেটা কি, পৃথিবীর এরকম অনেক মানুষ আছে যারা হচ্ছে কি রিভেঞ্জ নিতে চায়। রিভেঞ্জ নিতে গিয়ে কি হয়, তারা খুনাখুনি করে ফেলে, মারামারি করে ফেলে। কিন্তু এইসব শিখাচ্ছে তুমি যদি প্রতিশোধ নিতে চাও, প্রতিশোধটা যেন হয় কি, মধুর প্রতিশোধ। বুঝে গেছে? অর্থাৎ কি, সাপও মরবে লাঠিও ভাঙবে না। ক্লিয়ার? অর্থাৎ অ্যালিগরি হচ্ছে কি, সারফেসে মনে হবে কি এক কথা, কিন্তু আন্ডারনিথ ইট আসলে হচ্ছে এটার গভীরতা হচ্ছে কি অনেক বেশি। যেমন ধরেন আপনি যদি একটা অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট করেন, তখন আঙুলে যদি একটা ব্যথা পান, আপনি কি করবেন, এখানে ব্যান্ডেজ লাগাবেন না, ঠিক না? এই ব্যান্ডেজের ভেতরে কি সব ব্যথা, আর সারফেসটা কি একটা ব্যান্ডেজ, ঠিক না? সারফেসটার উপরে আমরা কখনো জাজ করতে পারি না কি আছে, কিন্তু এইটার ভেতরে যে কি ব্যথা, এই যে মধুর প্রতিশোধ, মানুষ যে প্রতিশোধের আগুনে কেমন জ্বলে এটা তো আমরা জানি, ঠিক না? জানি না একজন আরেকজনকে প্রতিশোধ নেওয়ার জন্য কি হয়, মার্ডারও করে ফেলে, ঠিক না? সারফেসটা দেখে কিছুই মনে হবে না, কিন্তু এটার যখন সারফেসটা যখন আমি মাটি যখন খুঁড়বো তখন দেখব এটার ভেতরে কত ভয়াবহ জিনিস আছে। ঠিক আছে, এটাকে কি বলা হয় তাহলে? ক্লিয়ার? কেউ আছেন যে বোঝেন নাই? ভাই কেউ আছেন যে বোঝেন নাই? আচ্ছা সবাই বুঝছেন, তাহলে রেসপন্স করেন। আচ্ছা, রেদন মনে হয় কিছুই বুঝতে পারছে না। যাই হোক, শাহাদাত লেখেন আপাতত, তারপর বোঝানো যাবে। আচ্ছা এরপরে আসেন, আমরা আর কি শিখতে পারি, কত নাম্বার হবে, নাম্বার 6। অ্যালিগরি তো শেষ, এবার আসেন অ্যাম্বিগিউটি। আমরা তো এই শব্দটা শিখেছিলাম, রাইট? মডার্নিজমে অ্যাম্বিগিউটি, অবসকিউরিটি শিখেছিলেন। অ্যাবসার্ড, রাইট? অ্যাম্বিগিউটি, অ্যাম্বিগিউটি মানে কি, when an action has double meaning or when the meaning remains obscure. Okay, ambiguity. When an action has double meaning or when the meaning remains obscure, মানে হচ্ছে সব সময় কি থাকবে, এটার মিনিংটা ডাবল মিনিং হতে পারে, আপনি কখনো ক্লিয়ারলি খুঁজেই পাবেন, দেখা যাচ্ছে না। ওকে, নাও ইউ ক্যান সি, আই থিঙ্ক। Okay, and it's almost similar to vagueness. In English we also call it like it's vague, okay? Then we call it vagueness. Done? All of you? Write it down. Okay. Thank you.